Those with chronic health conditions don't need to feel they must accept impaired balance and limited mobility. Build strength, improve balance, and gain confidence in your mobility through the Moving for Better Balance program. For questions and additional information, email cmullins@ymcanwnc.org.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Scoreboard. I hope everyone's having a good day today. Happy Tuesday to you. Yes, we are here. We are live in studio, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone's doing good. 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464. If you want to be a part of the program, I'm going to be here for quite some time. We got about another 40, 50, 53 minutes. I think that's the number I was looking for as I adjust my camera over here. Welcome to the Scoreboard, everyone. We got a lot to go over from not only yesterday, but also this weekend. We had some football, some baseball yesterday, some high school sports from Friday, volleyball playoffs going on. We had the sports equinox where every single sport of the four major sports, that is, we're in action. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey, everything happening last night. It was a sad night for me. It was. The Yankees lost. The Giants lost. The Knicks lost. I had a bad sports equinox, everyone. It was really depressing. We are going to talk a little Major League Baseball today. Game number 4 of the World Series is going on tonight. 8:08 is when we expect that to start. Probably not, though. They put this specific of 8:08. Yet the game's first pitch is never at 8:08. So why can't you just say you're going on air at 8 o'clock and the first pitch will happen sometime after that? Huh? What's so hard about that? We have football to talk about. The Carolina Panthers making the mile-high trip out to Denver on Sunday for a nice afternoon affair there. Boy. Has Bryce Young played himself out of a future in Carolina yet? I do think that it's possible. I really do. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. I'm going to start things off a little bit differently today. We're going to, well, not differently at all, actually. We're going to go right into the high school scene because there's a lot of things going on that I think you should know about. We are now past round 4 of the volleyball playoffs. Yeah, we are in the 4th round, I should say. We're past round 3. We have our final 8 teams, our final 8 schools in both the East and West in the 1A all the way through to the 4A. Games are going to be today for this round of the playoffs. So let's get right into the volleyball scene. As always, we're going to start in 1A, where we have one school continuing to progress here in our area. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull it off this year. We've been talking about Christ the King High School in Huntersville. Yeah, unfortunately for them, they got eliminated from the playoffs in round number 3 by Polk County High School. 3-0 were the final score there, and unfortunately, that ends the run of teams in our area in the 1A conference. It's been a rough stretch, but there's still some other divisions here in 2, 3, 4A where we have a couple of schools within our listening area that are having a really good year. So besides that, in the 1A, here's how things stack up on the west side of the state. Cherokee High School, the number 1 seed, is going to be in action tonight against Cornerstone Charter Cardinals out of Greensboro, North Carolina, 26-2 this year. Cherokee High School, 24-1 so far on the year. They have only lost a single game. Highland Tech is the 2 seed. They're going to be moving on to the fourth round here, playing Polk County, who we just said beat Christ the King over the weekend. That was a 3-0 win for Polk County. So unfortunate for Christ the King High School, but playoffs do move on. Let's get into the 2A bracket here, as there's, there is a school in the area that is still in the playoffs in 2A. I really wish it was Pine Lake. Unfortunately, they lost their second round match to East Surrey High School. By the way, East Surrey, the 5 seed, went on to lose to the 4 seed West Stanley 3-0. I've noticed there's not a lot of back and forth in these games. Every now and then you'll have a fourth set played or even a fifth set played, but it seems to be very rare. We only had one in the third round in 2A that went past 3 sets, and that was Community School of Davidson taking on Brevard High School. And I'll tell you what, the 7 seed of Community School of Davidson, they came out and upset the 2 seed of Brevard 3-2. So congratulations, Community School of Davidson, CSD as they are known. They move on to round number 4. The 7 seed CSD will be taking on number 6, North Stanley, and that game is at 6 o'clock, so immediately following the scoreboard today. On the other side of the West bracket, you have McMichael High School, the 1 seed, continuing to plow through the playoffs, still have not dropped a single set. They'll be playing West Stanley, who we just said beat East Surrey over the weekend. Moving right along to the 3A bracket, this is where we still see more schools in our area playing. We had that matchup in 3A over the weekend between North Iredell High School, the 2 seed, and the 10 seed Lake Norman Charter. Both of those schools are within our area here. This one went 4 sets. It was not a clean sweep, but North Iredell did come out victorious in this one, winning 3-1. The 2 seed moves on to the 4th round. North Iredell will be playing Kings Mountain High School. That is a 3 seed, so things looking pretty chalk there. On the other side of the bracket, you have Carson High School, the 5 seed, who upset Ashe County, the 4 seed, to move on to the 4th round. And West Henderson High School continuing to move through the playoffs as the 1 seed, another 1 seed that has yet to drop a set in these playoffs. And last but not least, we want to get into the 4A volleyball playoffs within our area. Man, this is how you know Lake Norman High School has a really good sports program. They enter the playoffs as the 10 seed. They upset number 7 Watauga High School. And then over the weekend, this one actually going the full length 5 sets, Lake Norman High School comes out victorious against Cox Mill High School, the 2 seed. 3-2. They move on to the 4th round where they'll be playing Reagan High School. That game at 6:30. That's actually a 3 versus a 10. And on the other side of that West bracket, we still have a 1 seed that is yet to drop a set. That's Marvin Ridge High School. They'll be playing a team that's been getting upset after upset and just surviving their way through the playoffs. That'd be North Guilford High School. The 12 seed is in the 4th round. We will have updates for you tomorrow as to who progresses in these playoffs. We do have to go to a commercial break. When we return, we'll give you your high school football update, and we'll get into some other football as well. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, staying mild in the overnight hours under a partly cloudy sky. Temperatures dip into the mid-50s heading into our Wednesday morning. We get a little warmer day by day as we work our way through the work week. Plenty of sunshine, mid and upper 70s for our Wednesday. Get ready for a toasty Halloween and plan your costumes accordingly. We'll warm up to 80 in the afternoon, cooling off into the low 70s by trick-or-treat time. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Nina's Boutique.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Save on tickets at southernChristmasShow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Boatyard Eats in Cornelius presents live entertainment Friday and Saturday nights. 70s Rock Revival Troubadour Project takes the stage at 8:30 Friday night, while 80s tribute band The Breakfast Club headlines Saturday show along with DJ Wheels. Visit boatyardlkn.com for tickets, details, and show information. The 21st Annual Statesville Pumpkin Festival is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come join the community in historic downtown Statesville with 2 stages of live entertainment. The Classic Car Cruisin', Kid Zone, pumpkin activities, and vendors. The Statesville Pumpkin Festival is truly a fall festival for the entire family. Stick around at 5:30 p.m. for the after party with Uptown Dueling Pianos. For more information, visit statesvillepumpkinfest.com. We'll see you Saturday in downtown Statesville for the annual Pumpkin Festival. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals beginning on November 6th and continuing through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's top 3 series for 4 days of action to decide their championships, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated, the World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track in November. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back, Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Non-stop shop at Giant Crafts Market. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com, while supplies last.
Harness the healing power of horses. With the amazing staff at Willow Equine in Mooresville, we create a supportive environment conducive to healing and growth, dedicated to self-discovery and overcoming adversity. There's a program for you at willowequine.com.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
Now more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
We're back. Segment number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, hey, hey. How's everyone doing? 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464. You all know the number. We're talking high school sports right now. We got to get a little bit more high school sports in before we start talking World Series. I know. The World Series is important. But also, so is high school football. It is. And we have a lot of schools within our area who are going to be contenders come playoff time, not only in 4A, but also 3, 2, all the way throughout all of high school sports. We have good programs in our area. I want to start things off closer to Lake Norman, with Lake Norman High School. Now, they have had an interesting year. Some close games against good opponents, losing a game to Statesville High School early in the year. We've noted that quite a bit. They played South Iredell High School on Friday, and man, could this one have been any more interesting. Entering the fourth quarter, South Iredell was leading this game. It was actually a pretty good lead for them, as it was 25-14 going into the fourth. Well, for South Iredell, things did not go as they wanted. Some turnovers late, some tough defense, and a last-second score by Lake Norman. 15 unanswered in the fourth quarter by Lake Norman gives the Wildcats the 29-25 victory and a comeback win at that to push their record up to 7-2, 4-1 in the conference. Now, for South Iredell, it's a really tough loss for them. They've been teetering on making the playoffs or not making the playoffs here all year. Still with a winning record, both overall and in conference. 5-4 overall, 3-2 in conference. But that 5-4 record's going to be tough. Now, they do have one more game on the docket. That's this Friday, the 1st of November. It'll be against Cox Mill High School. Now, we've noted Cox Mill High School for having a good volleyball program this year. The football team is not faring as well. Currently 1-8 on the year, which it's been a rough one for them. Their most recent win coming on Friday against Hickory Ridge, where they were able to get the 38-34 win. Now, this was a game against two teams that have yet to win, so somebody was going to come away with their first win of the year, and it ended up being Cox Mill High School. The final conference game for South Iredell is going to be Friday against this squad. If they win, I think they may just sneak their way into this playoff race. It's going to be close. 4A is very competitive. But I think they've had a really good year. And, you know, some of the wins that they've gotten, some of the games that they've played, I just hope that it works out for them and they end up getting a draw here in the playoffs. Moving on to Mooresville High School. Now, we've been noting Mooresville since early in the year. They had that loss to Reagan High School on the road, 34-28. Since that loss, Mooresville High School has won 7 straight football games, and they have yet to give up double digits in those games. 66-20 win to start the season, the 34-28 loss after that, and since then, shutout, 7 points, 9, shutout, and 7. The defense for Mooresville is absolutely cooking right now, and the offense isn't bad either. They're still putting up 30, 40 points a game. Overall, they've put up over 400 points, and they've yet to allow 100 points on the season. So a very good defense. Mooresville getting a lot of love, being ranked number 25 in the state of North Carolina. So we're going to look forward to them. They're still leading the 4A Greater Metro Conference with a 5-0 record. Behind them is Lake Norman High School, 4-1 record in the conference. And that's a game that's coming up this Friday. One of the biggest rivalries in the area, Lake Norman High School, Mooresville High School will be playing each other. This game is going to be at Mooresville's home stadium. I give them a little bit of advantage here. Whoever wins is going to get first place here in the 4A Greater Metro Conference. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this game. It's two teams that have had very good years. I do think Mooresville is slightly better, but we'll see. The better team doesn't always win. Also, moving on, I lost my spot here, unfortunately, on my page, and I do apologize for that, everyone. Let's see what we got here. Statesville High School. That's right. We want to be with Statesville High School next, right in our backyard here. They've had a really good year, and a real good year when you look at last year, how things fared. They made the playoffs, 8-4 record, 8-3 record in the regular season. But this year, they are on a roll, 8-1. That only loss coming to North Lincoln early in the season, over a month ago now. There's one game left in the season here for Statesville High School, and it may be one of the biggest in the area. I don't know if it's bigger than Lake Norman and Mooresville playing each other. But when you look at the 3A Western Foothill Conference, Hickory High School, who we've talked about time and time again, undefeated again this year, is 6-0 in conference. North Lincoln, with that win over Statesville, is second in the conference at 5-1. And then there's Statesville High School, also 5-1. Statesville playing Hickory, that is a big conference game right there. And for North Lincoln, they play East Lincoln, who's not all that far behind either. They're 4-2 right now in the conference. So things are going to get interesting. That's for sure. And I'm not sure how it's going to shake out, man. I hope Statesville can pull off a big upset here. I'm sure that Hickory would be favored in this game. They are the 16th ranked team in the state of North Carolina. Now, Statesville's pretty good themselves, 66th best team in North Carolina, but history shows that Hickory has had a slight edge in this matchup. We'll see what happens, though. I'm excited. Final games of the regular season. We are getting close to playoff football. I do want to make sure that we talk about a couple of more schools in our area, whether they've been having a good year or a bad year. I do want to continue to shout out North Iredell, 3-6 on the year, 2-4 within the conference. A tough loss on Friday as they got beat by East Lincoln, 50-7, the final score in that one. West Iredell High School also has had a rough year. They have yet to win a conference game, but getting a little closer, 35-14 against North Lincoln. That's after they got beat 76-10 by Hickory. You remember that one. West Iredell is going to be playing North Iredell this coming Friday. That's a big game. And West Iredell is one of the schools that has 2 regular season games remaining. They'll play Ford High School after that. And last but not least, I do want to make sure that we continue to talk about Pine Lake, my alma mater, the football team. We talked to Brett Hayford early in the year, the athletic director there, the defensive coordinator for Pine Lake. He said they got a very young team, so there's definitely going to be some growing pains, and they're showing. The growing pains are showing. Pine Lake 2-7 on the year right now. They are riding a 4-game losing streak, which has been tough. Close game a couple of weeks ago versus Carver High School, but a 48-14 loss to Corvian Community is a tough way to bounce back after that. Final game for Pine Lake is going to be on the road at CSD. We know that is Pine Lake's rival. If you've been listening to the program, you would know Pine Lake and Community School of Davidson, CSD. That is the rivalry. So that's the final game of the year. CSD 6-3 on the year. They're 5-1 in conference. That's the 1-2A Conference A for football. Corvian Community 6-0. CSD 5-1 within the conference. It's going to be very interesting to see how things shake out. And to be quite honest with you, the playoff format being based on match preps to me is interesting. We talked with Statesville High School about that earlier in the year, how things are kind of set up and what happens when it comes time to playoffs and deciding who's going to be what seed. It's out of our hands, right? We just get to sit back and watch and enjoy it, and we'll talk about it once we have those brackets all set. Now, we are still a few weeks away from playoffs beginning in football. The first football playoff game is going to be November 15th. So we are a couple of weeks away from that yet, but that is when the first round of the playoffs is going to begin for football. By then, basketball will have started. So just keep that in mind. We're going to get into basketball relatively soon. We've reached the halfway point of the program, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk some baseball. The World Series, it's been going on. Have you been watching? We'll tell you what's been going on if you haven't. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Scoreboard, and we're back after this.
This guy knows his sports, right? There's more of The Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, staying mild in the overnight hours under a partly cloudy sky. Temperatures dip into the mid-50s heading into our Wednesday morning. We get a little warmer day by day as we work our way through the work week. Plenty of sunshine. Mid and upper 70s for our Wednesday. Get ready for a toasty Halloween and plan your costumes accordingly. We'll warm up to 80 in the afternoon, cooling off into the low 70s by trick-or-treat time. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawFirm.com.
Drum Landscape Supply is the go-to spot for anything you need for your yard. Transform your landscaping. Drum Landscape Supply has trees, flowers, natural stone, custom blended grass seed, mulch, and more. Plus, they deliver. DrumLandscapeSupply.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves. But don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Have you taken the Desco Challenge? Desco is where the professional goes for electrical supplies.
My name is Ashley. I just redid the lighting in my home, and the customer experience at Desco was second to none.
See for yourself at DescoInc.com.
Rev up your dreams with a bike from Tilly Harley-Davidson. Whether you're new to Harley or a seasoned pro, Tilly has the bike for you. Come experience the freedom of the ride. Feel the thrill of the road and the thunder that only a Harley can provide. Stop by Tilly Harley-Davidson of Statesville or go to TillyHD.com.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. Shooting free throws in college basketball is incredibly challenging as student sections have all sorts of loud and inventive ways to distract the shooter. But no matter how many distractions they are facing, players must persevere in putting the ball through the net. As followers of Jesus, there is no shortage of distractions when it comes to our prayer life. But even though there are distractions that try to prevent us from engaging with God in prayer, we must know our best strategy is to stay focused on pursuing Him relentlessly. The Bible encourages us to pray in the Spirit at all times and on every occasion. And so with so much noise distracting us throughout the day, we must be intentional to turn to God in prayer regularly as we go about our lives. Today, as we look to strengthen our prayer life, let's remember that God wants us to remain connected to Him. So let's continue to keep our eyes focused on Him. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. A new record for the NASDAQ. It was up 146 or 0.75%. The S&P also had a positive day, up 9 points, 0.1%. But the Dow was lower, losing 154 or 1/3%. And Google's parent Alphabet reporting after the close beat estimates. Netflix is making moves to add more animation and studio films to its programming. The streamer is renewing its licensing agreement with Comcast's NBC Universal to screen animated films from DreamWorks and live-action films from Universal Pictures and Focus Features. A World Series sweep would do more than just crush Yankees fans. It would also cost Fox nearly $150 million in potential ad sales revenue. According to media buyers, the average unit cost for a 30-second ad in this year's World Series works out to between $465,000 and $520,000 a pop. But if the Dodgers win in a sweep, that adds up to a huge missed opportunity. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Halfway through the program here. It is time to talk about baseball. The World Series. I'm going to try to do this because I'm depressed. I am. And I'm going to put a little bit of personal feelings into this here. And it's hard to not do that as a lifelong Yankee fan. The World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees, as I had called it way back in, June. Before that, maybe even May. Told you, this is going to be Dodgers-Yankees. I'm not saying that the MLB wanted that to happen after what happened last year with the ratings and the Diamondbacks and the Rangers, but, it's the complete opposite of last year. Anyway, what is there not to say about this series? I mean, Freddie Freeman is your World Series MVP right now, easily. Playing injured, continuing to hit home runs. I think he hit a home run in the World Series for the 5th consecutive game. That's insane. That is absolutely insane, as he went yard early in game number 3. Right now, the series stands at 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. 3-0 comebacks in baseball, they're not very likely. If everybody remembers, 2004, the New York Yankees got up 3-0 against the Boston Red Sox in the ALCS. And after that, the Red Sox won 4 in a row. It is what basically broke the curse for the Red Sox, if you know about the curse of that organization, the curse of the Bambino and all that. It is also the only time in baseball history that a team has come back to win a series after being down 3-0. All time in the World Series, and I don't have the stat in front of me. I heard it earlier. I didn't write it down, and I apologize, but I'm going to do my best to tell it to you from memory. All time in the World Series, teams who have gone down 3-0 are 2-42 in Game 4. It's not looking good for those New York Yankees. And I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. The bats went quiet. Aaron Judge looks like a AAA player. The pitching is terrible. The managing is terrible. I want to go all the way back to Game 1 because I think this all stems from Friday night, Game 1 of the World Series. The New York Yankees go up in extras. And in extra innings, there was some weird things that happened, but it ends up with Freddie Freeman at the plate with the bases loaded, and Aaron Boone, the manager of the New York Yankees, decides, you know what, let's go put Nestor Cortez in the baseball game. Now, the only issue with that is Nestor Cortez had not pitched in over a month and a half. Well, what do you think happened? We just talked about it. Freddie Freeman, 5 consecutive World Series games with a home run. Yeah, Freddie Freeman in the bottom of the 10th hit a walk-off grand slam. The first ever walk-off grand slam, I believe, in baseball. In the World Series, I should say. It's happened plenty of times. And the Dodgers steal Game 1 with a 6-3 victory. And if you look at the way that game was managed on both sides, if the Yankees had won that game, we could be in a complete alternate universe right now where the Yankees are up 3-0 just because of pitching and how you allocate your arms and who's going into the game. Well, the decision to put Nestor Cortez in the baseball game, a guy who, like I said, hadn't pitched in over a month and a half, may have completely killed the momentum that the New York Yankees had. You go into the top of the 10th. Jazz Chisholm puts a clinic on the base path, steals second, steals third, scores to take the lead. And you go to the bottom of the 10th inning. You get through Ohtani. You put Mookie Betts on. That way you can pitch to Freddie Freeman. Not sure whose decision that was. Probably Aaron Boone. A lot of Aaron Boone mess-ups in this series. And then you put Nestor Cortez in the baseball game, who, well, he threw 2 pitches. He faced Ohtani. He got him to pop up. They intentionally walked Betts, and the next pitch he throws, the second pitch of the game, is an absolute bomb by Freddie Freeman to give the Dodgers the 1-0 series lead. Then you go into the Saturday game, and the Yankees, well, the offense wasn't there. The Yankees lose 4-2. Last night, game number 3 of the World Series, and another 4-2 victory for the Dodgers. So it is now a 3-0 series. The Dodgers have a stranglehold on the Yankees, and I said at the beginning this is going to be one of 2 things. It's going to be a clean sweep, or it's going to go the distance. Right now, I have no hope for the Yankees. I don't. That offense is terrible. It doesn't look good. They had 5 hits last game. The amount of runners that have been left on base by the Yankees, and I'm saying this in the Yankees' perspective being down 3-0, but we very well could talk about how many runners have been left on base for the Dodgers. Both teams failing to capitalize on opportunities when you get runners in scoring position. But the Dodgers have been able to at least hit more home runs in the series, which is the reason that they are leading the series 3-0. I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about going into tonight's game in New York. I just don't. And I'm a little depressed about it. Not going to lie, everyone. I'm a little upset. And I've continued to make mention of this, maybe not on air, but as a Yankee fan, you see the team go to the World Series for the first time in 15 years, and you go, awesome. I'm excited, but like not crazy excited because it's the Yankees. Let's be honest. They're supposed to win. They have 27 world championships. They're supposed to go to the World Series. It's been 15 years since they've been there. And in the first showing since they won the World Series in 2009, they lay an egg, literally not winning a single game in the first 3 games of the series. And it hurts. It does, because the expectation is so high for that team. And maybe it's not fair. Maybe it's not fair to Aaron Boone, to the Yankees, to Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton to have these kind of expectations. But then you look at the team that they are playing. The Dodgers, what did we say the moment they signed Ohtani to a $700 million contract? It's World Series or bust. The expectations were there to begin with. And they're not failing. They're thriving on these expectations. So I do expect for the Dodgers to pull out this series win. I do expect for Shohei Ohtani to get his first World Series, probably first of a few. Let's be honest, that team is stacked. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like next year, but you have Ohtani, you have Betts, you have Freeman. That's a pretty good three-player punch right there. That's a really good 3-player punch. We'll see what happens. I don't have any. I expect for the Dodgers to win this game. I do. And we'll see. Maybe the Yankees can keep themselves from being eliminated. The thing is, even if they win this game, they do get one more game in New York before they go to LA for a possible game 6 and 7. But they got to win game 4 to even get game 5. Game 4 of the World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees tonight at 8:08 with the Dodgers up 3-0. Final segment coming up. We're back after this.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, staying mild in the overnight hours under a partly cloudy sky. Temperatures dip into the mid-50s heading into our Wednesday morning. We get a little warmer day by day as we work our way through the work week. Plenty of sunshine. Mid and upper 70s for our Wednesday. Get ready for a toasty Halloween and plan your costumes accordingly. We'll warm up to 80 in the afternoon, cooling off into the low 70s by trick-or-treat time. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Cakes and cookies. cookies, toys, and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Save on tickets at southernChristmasShow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Boatyard Eats in Cornelius presents live entertainment Friday and Saturday nights. 70s Rock Revival Troubadour Project takes the stage at 8:30 Friday night, while 80s tribute band The Breakfast Club headlines Saturday show along with DJ Wheels. Visit boatyardlkn.com for tickets, details, and show information. The 21st Annual Statesville Pumpkin Festival is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come join the community in historic downtown Statesville with 2 stages of live entertainment. The Classic Car Cruisin', Kid Zone, pumpkin activities, and vendors. The Statesville Pumpkin Festival is truly a fall festival for the entire family. Stick around at 5:30 p.m. for the after party with Uptown dueling pianos. For more information, visit StatesvillePumpkinFest.com. We'll see you Saturday in downtown Statesville for the annual Pumpkin Festival. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals beginning on November 6th and continuing through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's Top 3 Series for 4 days of action to decide their championships, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated, the World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track in November. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays. Now through November 24th. Non-stop shop at Giant Crafts Market. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. While supplies last.
Folks, here at Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, we have got the brand new 2025 Chevrolet Traverse in stock, all redesigned from front to back, top to bottom, inside and out. Come see them today. We have got a great selection of these new Traverses ready for you to take home. And also, we got great discounts on our Silverado trucks. We got the regular cab, crew cab, double cabs, discounted up to $9,000 off. Great selection, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, right on I-40.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's the Scoreboard on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Final segment here on the Scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. 844 Studio 4 is the phone number. If you have something you want to talk about in this final segment, let me know. Call me up. We can chat. Maybe you want to talk about baseball. Maybe cheer me up a little. Say, hey, they got 27 World Series. Relax. I know. I've seen one. But, it's okay. Let's talk about the Panthers, huh? Maybe everybody else can be sad, too. Because I'm sad about the Panthers. It is just brutal, man. Oh, my goodness. The game on Sunday was rough enough, right? You go into Denver, the Mile High City, and you say, you know what? Okay, this is Bryce Young's chance. Unfortunately, we know what happened with Andy Dalton with the car accident, and, we wish him the best in his health. But you look forward and you look at the football side of things and say, okay, Bryce Young, you have a shot maybe to win the job back, maybe to show that you still can be the future of this team. I don't think he did that. I don't. You look at the stat line, 24 of 37 for 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and you think, that's not horrible. Numbers lie sometimes. You got to look at his first half passing where he had 67 yards after the first half. And the Panthers were down 21-7 after that. Now, the first drive of the game for the Panthers was great. He marched down the field, throw a touchdown pass. Everything's looking great for Bryce Young. And then it didn't really look great until late in the game. The Panthers end up losing to the Broncos 28-14. They fall on the year to 1-7, one of the worst teams in the NFL yet again. I remember last year they were the worst team in the NFL, but they did not get that number 1 overall pick because, they sent it to the Bears. Right now, the Panthers are the only team in the NFL with 7 losses on the resume. The only other team with 1 win is the Tennessee Titans, who are 1-6 after a bye week. And when you think things couldn't get a little bit worse for the Panthers, I wouldn't say worse, but I'd say, what are we doing? What is the plan? Because it was announced earlier today that Deontay Jackson, wide receiver that the Panthers signed in the offseason, has been traded. Yes, the Panthers have made a trade to send Deontay Jackson to the Baltimore Ravens. Here's my confusion on this trade. The Carolina Panthers will send Deontay Johnson and a 6th-round pick to Baltimore. In return, the Carolina Panthers get a 2025 5th-round pick. What? That's it? There was no point in trading him if that was all you're going to get. A 5th-round pick, and you gave up a 6th-round pick. I mean, Deontay Jackson's not the greatest wide receiver in the world, but he's only a couple of years removed from a 1,000-yard season. He's a good wide receiver. Hold on to him. Why not? If Bryce Young is going to play while Andy Dalton is hurt, give him some weapons. But guess what? The Panthers don't do that. They send Deontay Johnson to the Ravens for crumbs. For crumbs. I think the Panthers need to stop making trades. I do. It doesn't seem to matter who the GM is. They always seem to be on the losing end of these trades. I don't understand. I don't. I don't know why they couldn't just hold on to him and say, you know what, be a weapon here. Instead, they send him to Baltimore for a 5th-round pick, and they lose a 6th-round pick in that. It doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe somebody else can explain it to me and explain it like I'm 7. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where the Panthers go from here. I really don't. You're 1-7. At least you have your 1st-round pick this year. We haven't heard much about Bryce Young. Is he still going to be the future? What is the team going to do come draft time in April? Because there's a lot that they could do. I'm going to be honest. If I'm the Panthers, I might consider trading back if we get the number 1 overall pick. It worked out for the Bears, right? And I'm not saying we're going to do what the Bears did, but you look at that and you say, okay, this was a team that still needed other parts. They need to build. You get the number 1 pick and look how much you can get for it. The Panthers are not going to be turned around by one singular pick. I hope that they're considering that come this offseason. We have a caller on the line. Let's go ahead and bring them into the program. Good afternoon, caller. You're live on the scoreboard.
Good afternoon, Joe Berg.
Hey, how are you today?
Good. How's it going, bud?
It's going well. Can't complain. What do you got for me today?
Hey, I figured I'd try to give you some good positive news there to talk about.
We can use it.
Yeah. All your teams sounds like are getting beat. The Dodgers there, Freddie Freeman's just making waste of the New York Yankees so far. So
yes, they have.
But hey, wanted to call in. Me and my Tar Heels had to brag about I know it was exhibition game, but what a blowout the other night! 127 points, and just everybody was getting in on the act. And looks like if they can continue that, they might have a pretty good season coming up.
Yeah. I would expect for the Tar Heels to be a little bit better than they were last year, honestly. But we'll see. It's exhibition. It's early in the basketball season. Are they in the Maui Invitational this year?
Yes,
they are. Okay.
So that'll give us a good read on that and see if there's a lot of good teams. UConn's in there.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty loaded with a lot of tournament teams from last year, and so we'll see, how they fare in that one. And I mean, it's still kind of early on, obviously, but kind of see what's happening and maybe something to look forward to.
Yeah, it is early, but I do love that tournament being early in the year because it is a great way to get a read on the team that you have, especially with the amount of competition that's going to be there. Like that is a really good place to be if you're the Tar Heels.
Right, and they open up the season next week. I think it's the 4th Monday, and play Elon, and then the next game is at Kansas.
Ooh,
how about that? Allen Fieldhouse, a true road game. So
all right.
Kansas is like top 5. I think a couple polls had them number 1 preseason, and all that. I mean, obviously, who knows how it'll all pan out in the end, but they always have a good team. They're always like a good top 20 team to go in there and play on their turf and just see what happens. But hopefully it'll be a good game, and Tar Heels can learn a lot and improve from that and get a good season kicked off. They've got a lot of, like you said, the Maui at Kansas. I think they're playing UCLA in December, and Alabama. They got them in the SEC tournament matchup. So they got a lot of good tests coming up for November, December.
Yeah,
and,
that game,
ACC games.
that road game against Kansas being so early in the year is going to be a fun one. And then, like you mentioned, Alabama, there's some tests in there early for the Tar Heels this year. But, we'll see what happens. I expect them to be a little bit better, maybe not a lot better. They were 17-3 in the conference. Hard to improve on that. But I do think that they're going to have a better squad this year and maybe make some real noise come tournament time.
Yeah, if all those guys that can, shoot the ball, if they can continue, that from the outside where they can really spread the floor and, make it a little easier where we won't miss Baycott and all his rebounding, kind of spread the floor a little better, and hopefully all those guys can make some buckets. Looks like Trimble's really stepping up his game. He's been playing well when RJ was out, and RJ's preseason player of the year again. And so we'll just, a lot to look forward to. Exciting times ahead, I think. And I also wanted to make mention, I know it's been a few weeks, but Vince Carter and Mr. Walter Davis both went in the Hall of Fame here a few weeks ago. Gives Carolina the most Hall of Famers all time of any college program as far as under Dean Smith, any one coach to have. I think it's like 10 guys that he's put in there that were, under his tutelage as far as either a player or coach. So, just once again kind of shows the Tar Heel dominance over the years. Yeah, right now they might not have a lot of superstar NBA guys, but just that kind of over time, those guys get in there and do their thing and kind of prove that they're, either a good bench player or a good, long haul, guy you can count on over time. So
absolutely.
But anyway, just had to brag a little bit about the Tar Heels there.
Yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate hearing from you. Always love to hear from you, and I'm expecting for you to call in quite often here during basketball season. So I'm sure we'll be talking more.
Yeah, you know it. Okay,
Absolutely.
Joe. All right, well, have a good night, buddy.
You as well. Have a good one. Some positivity here as we wrap up the program on this Tuesday. Thanks, everyone, for tuning into the Scoreboard. Had a lot of fun with you. Tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit about the NASCAR season. Didn't have time to touch on that today. We go to the final race of round number 3 on Sunday. 2 drivers have already made it into the championship 4. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everyone.
Serving you better than ever before.